Elena had always felt invisible at work, just another face in the crowd. One rough day, after being scolded by her boss, she found a small handwritten poem on her desk that made her heart skip a beat. But when the notes suddenly stopped coming, she couldn't help but wonder who had been leaving them and why they had vanished. Elena sat quietly at her desk, adjusting her glasses for the 100th time that morning. She often felt invisible, blending into the background while her prettier, more confident colleagues seemed to glide through the office with ease. She had been at this job for over a year, yet the idea of having a close friend in the office still felt like a distant dream. Small talk and coffee breaks felt awkward, and she often ate lunch alone, scrolling through her phone or doodling in her notebook just to pass the time. That morning had been especially rough. All the employees were called into the conference room for a project update meeting. Elena clutched her notes nervously as she set up her laptop, trying to steady her trembling hands. She had stayed late the night before, making sure every slide was perfect. When it was her turn to present, she clicked to the next slide and realized she had misplaced a key figure, one that could affect the team's understanding of the project. Her boss, Alex, noticed immediately. His eyebrows knitted together, and his voice cut sharply through the room. "Elena! This is not what we discussed. How could you miss such an important detail? This is basic, you should know this." Elena's cheeks flushed crimson. She tried to speak, to explain, but the words stuck in her throat. "I can't believe this. Everyone, let's take 5. Elena, please make sure this is corrected before the next client call. Pay close attention to the details." Without waiting for a response, he turned and walked out of the room, leaving Elena frozen, her heart pounding, and her colleagues awkwardly shuffling papers around. For a moment, the office felt too big, too loud, and too lonely. Her chest tightened, and she quietly slipped into the washroom, pressing her hands to her face as tears threatened to spill. The sound of the running water mixed with her sniffles, and she let herself cry for a few moments, feeling small and invisible. When she finally composed herself and returned to her desk, wiping away the last of her tears, she noticed a small, neatly folded note sitting atop her keyboard. Curious and hesitant, she picked it up. The handwriting was delicate, almost like a personal touch meant just for her. She unfolded it and read the words. "Mistakes are just steps on the way. Keep moving forward, come what may. Your efforts matter, your work is true. The path you take is built by you. Rise and shine, the day is yours." Elena held the note in her hands for a moment, reading the words again and letting them sink in. A warmth spread through her chest, and a small, determined smile tugged at her lips. For the first time that day, she felt seen and encouraged, not judged, not invisible, but capable. She tucked the note gently into her notebook, took a deep breath, and returned to the conference room, feeling a newfound clarity and focus. When it was her turn again, she presented her slides with confidence and precision, explaining every detail clearly and smoothly. Her voice was steady, her hands calm, and her thoughts sharp. The team listened intently, impressed by her clarity and poise. At the end of the presentation, Alex nodded and smiled slightly, his usual stern expression softening. "Well done, Elena. That was thorough and clear, exactly what we needed." Her heart lifted at his words. For the first time that day, she felt proud of herself, encouraged not just by the note but by her own ability to rise above the embarrassment. A quiet spark of confidence had been lit within her, and she knew she could face any challenge the day might bring. The next morning, Elena returned to the office with a little more spring in her step. On her desk, another neatly folded note awaited her. "Each task you take, each step you tread. brings you closer to what lies ahead. Focus your mind, let doubt fall away. You have the strength to own the day. She smiled softly, her fingers brushing over the paper. It felt as if someone truly believed in her, even when she doubted herself. That day, she completed her tasks with renewed determination, noticing small successes she might have previously overlooked. The following day, she arrived a little earlier, clutching her coffee as she settled in. A new note caught her eye. I see the way you sip your morning brew. A careful pause, a moment true. Even small routines hold a light, guiding your steps, making your path bright. Elena's cheeks warmed. Someone is really noticing me, noticing the little things no one else cares about, she thought. The attention felt strange at first, but also comforting, like a quiet acknowledgement of who she truly was. She felt a gentle pride, a sense that even her small habits had meaning. Later that week, she found another note, tucked neatly by her notebook. The little song you hum so quietly. A melody only the patient hear. Each soft note, a sign of your grace. It brightens the dullest space. Her heart fluttered. She thought about how she had always hummed softly while working, assuming no one noticed. I can't believe someone hears me, and actually enjoys it, she mused. A tiny laugh escaped her lips, and for the first time in years, she felt a private joy that was hers alone. The notes continued. Though the path seems long and steep, your perseverance is yours to keep. Step by step, you will succeed. Trust yourself, you have all you need. With every note, her internal world brightened. She looked forward to arriving early, eager to see what encouragement awaited her each day. The notes had become a small escape from her lonely routine, a private source of joy in an office where she often felt invisible. Yet a small whisper of curiosity and shyness always lingered. Who could be noticing her so carefully? There were so many employees, so many faces she passed every day. Could it be a colleague? Someone she barely spoke to? Or someone she didn't expect at all? Like the security guard, or even the office boy? She chuckled softly to herself at the thought. From then on, every morning as she entered the office, she found herself sneakily scanning the room, glancing at a few people with playful suspicion, half hoping, half wondering if one of them was her mysterious poet. The thought made her heart flutter and her cheeks warm, and yet she found herself hesitant to confront the mystery, savoring the gentle magic of the unknown. Days passed, and for the first time since the mysterious notes began, suddenly, the notes stopped. At first, Elena thought it might just be a small delay, maybe someone had forgotten, or the day had been too busy. But when she returned to her desk the next morning, there was nothing. Not on her keyboard, not tucked in her notebook, not even near her coffee cup where she usually found them first thing. A small, quiet sadness settled over her, like a soft shadow in the corner of her heart. She had grown so used to the little bursts of encouragement that each day without them felt strangely empty. She checked again and again, almost hoping the note had fallen somewhere she hadn't noticed. Days passed. Still nothing. Elena felt a gentle ache of longing, the familiar warmth and motivation she had cherished now absent, leaving her mornings feeling colder, quieter, and a little lonelier. Her thoughts turned inward. Did I do something wrong? Did I say something to hurt him? Did I upset my mysterious poet somehow? The very idea made her heart tighten. There was no way to apologize, no way to make things right if she had unknowingly caused offense. Then another, even more troubling thought crossed her mind, did something happen to him? Is he okay? The worry gnawed at her gently but persistently, creating a soft tension she couldn't shake. Each day she arrived at the office, she glanced around at her colleagues, half hoping, half worrying, wondering who could possibly be the one noticing her so closely. She couldn't guess, and the uncertainty felt both tantalizing and lonely. The absence of the notes made Elena realize just how much they had come to mean to her. They weren't just words on paper, they had become a small, private world of encouragement, a gentle voice that told her she mattered, that she was capable, that someone truly saw her. The silence without them left a hollow space in her day, and she longed to feel that quiet reassurance again. And then, on the 5th day, as she walked into the office with a hesitant hope in her chest, she spotted a single envelope lying neatly on her desk. Her fingers trembled as she picked it up. She unfolded it, and inside was a poem unlike the others, one that seemed to reach directly into her heart. I have watched your quiet strength each day. The way you move, the work you display. Your dedication shines in every small part. A steady rhythm, a steadfast heart. I wish to meet you, to finally say the words I have carried in a gentle way. There is nothing to fear, no cause for fright. Just a chance to share a moment of light. So come tomorrow, when the office is still. And let us meet, if you truly will. A simple hello, a smile, a start. A meeting to honor the courage in your heart. Elena froze. Her eyes widened, and a rush of excitement and disbelief coursed through her. Her heartbeat quickened, her cheeks flushed, and for a moment she simply held the note to her chest, unable to speak. He wants to meet me? In person? She whispered to herself. A gentle laugh escaped her lips, a mixture of nervousness and pure joy. The longing, the quiet worry, the missing days, they all melted away, replaced by a fluttering anticipation she had never felt before. She carefully placed the note in her notebook. She couldn't stop smiling, already imagining what the day might bring. Her mind raced with possibilities, excitement mixing with nervousness. Who is he? What will he say? Could it really be someone who has been watching over me all this time? Tomorrow, the mystery would finally begin to unravel. For the first time in a long while, Elena felt light, hopeful, and alive, a spark of happiness glowing deep inside her chest. Elena pushed open the office door, expecting the quiet hum of empty desks and the faint echo of her own footsteps. The office on a non-working day felt unusually still, almost surreal. She paused, letting her eyes sweep across the space, her heart fluttering with anticipation. Her eyes scanned the still, sunlit room. At first, she thought the space was empty. Then, near her desk, she noticed a figure standing quietly, back straight, watching the office with a calm presence. Curiosity mixed with nervousness, and she took a few cautious steps forward, her heels clicking softly on the polished floor. Her heart began to race. As she drew closer, the figure came into focus. The familiar posture, the sharp shoulders, the subtle tilt of the head, and then it hit her. It was Alex. Her boss. Her chest tightened. Her face flushed instantly. Words stumbled out before she could stop them. Oh. I'm so sorry. I think I'm in the wrong place. She stammered, her cheeks flushing crimson. She turned instinctively, embarrassed, her heels clicking against the polished floor as she began to retreat, thinking she had intruded on a private moment. But then she heard him, a low, steady voice that carried a warmth she had never expected. Each task you take, each step you tread, brings you closer to what lies ahead. Focus your mind, let doubt fall away. You have the strength to own the day. Elena froze mid-step, her chest tightening. Her fingers clutched the strap of her bag as if holding onto some invisible anchor. The words, so familiar, so intimate, echoed in her mind. Her heart skipped a beat. Every line, every syllable, every pause, it was exactly how the notes had always made her feel. She took a few trembling steps forward, then stopped. The world seemed to shrink to just the two of them. Slowly, almost painfully, she turned around. Her breath caught in her throat. Her eyes widened. And then it hit her, the realization. Alex. Her boss. He had been the one writing all the notes. Elena stood frozen, stunned, as her mind raced through the words she had read countless times, the little poems that had brightened her mornings and lifted her spirits. Each note, each carefully observed detail, each thoughtful encouragement now clicked into place. Her chest tightened with a mixture of disbelief and warmth. She pressed a hand to her heart, feeling it pound, and for a moment, a single tear escaped, tracing a quiet line down her cheek. She felt seen, truly seen, appreciated in a way she hadn't imagined possible. Alex stepped closer, his eyes soft, warm, and steady, meeting hers with a sincerity that made her heart flutter. His voice was low, calm, and gentle, carrying every ounce of the care he had poured into those words. I noticed the way you greet people with a smile, even on the toughest days, he said softly, his words deliberate, each syllable tender. The way you quietly help others, how you focus on your work with care and dedication. I noticed everything, Elena. He paused, as if gathering courage, then continued, and I really felt awful the day I scolded you in the conference room. I wanted to make it right, even if just in a small way. That's why I started writing the poems, to encourage you, to brighten your days. Nothing more complicated than that, at first. Elena's lips parted slightly, her eyes glistening as she listened, her chest rising and falling with the weight of her emotions. Then, he continued, his gaze softening further, as the days went by, I started noticing other little things, how you sip your coffee, the songs you hum softly while you work, the small habits that make you, you. And I realized, it wasn't just about encouraging you anymore. I was noticing everything about you. He took a careful breath, voice growing warmer, more vulnerable. I'm so sorry for the few days you didn't get notes. I had to travel suddenly, and I realized something important while I was away. I missed seeing you. I missed leaving those little poems for you. And it made me understand. I can't stay anonymous anymore. Elena's heart pounded in her chest. She wanted to speak, to ask 1,000 questions at once, but the sincerity in his eyes made her pause, made her listen even more closely. All these days, he said, stepping just a little closer, I understood how much your kindness, your heart, the small ways you make the world brighter, mean to me. I wanted you to know, not just through poems, but directly. I wanted you to know how much I see you. How much I care about you. For a long, suspended moment, silence hung between them, heavy with unspoken emotion. The quiet of the empty office wrapped around them, but Elena felt only the warmth of his words, the intimacy of the revelation, the beating of her own heart echoing with his confession. Tears welled up, and she pressed a hand to her mouth, swallowing the lump in her throat, as a soft laugh, half nervous, half joyful, escaped her. All this time, all this care, all these poems, it was him. Alex reached out slowly, just enough for her to see the earnestness in his gesture, but not to intrude, giving her the space to process, to breathe, to feel. And in that moment, surrounded by the gentle stillness of the office, Elena realized, she didn't have to guess anymore. The one who had seen her, who had understood her heart, who had brightened her lonely days, had been right there all along. Her lips trembled as she finally spoke, her voice barely above a whisper, yet full of warmth. I never knew someone noticed me this way. The little things I do, they mattered. It made me look forward to coming to work, even on the hardest days. A delicate laugh escaped her, mingling with a few tears that slipped down her cheeks. Her chest felt full, almost too full to breathe, as relief, joy, and the softest thrill of being truly seen washed over her. For the first time, she realized someone had noticed her heart, not just her appearance or her role in the office, someone who understood her quiet moments and celebrated them. Alex smiled softly, his eyes warm and steady, as he gestured toward her desk. "Sit with me," he said gently. They eased into the small intimacy of the moment, sitting side by side. The world outside the office seemed to fade away. They talked quietly, sharing laughter that was soft, unhurried, natural, the kind that springs from understanding and trust rather than formality. He reached over, offering her a cup of coffee, and she took it, their fingers brushing briefly. Her pulse fluttered at the simple touch, a spark of connection igniting. Together, they looked over the poems she had cherished for weeks. Alex's voice, soft and thoughtful, read them aloud again, and she felt the emotions of each carefully penned word come alive all over again. A quiet smile passed between them, effortless and meaningful, speaking volumes without a single additional word. There was no rush. No grand declaration. Only a gentle, budding connection, a quiet trust forming between two people who had come to understand and value each other in ways neither had expected. Finally, it was time for her to leave. She stood, lingering for a moment, savoring the warmth of the space, the shared smiles, the lightness in her chest. Alex's voice followed her as she moved toward the door, low and sincere. "See you tomorrow. I'll have another poem ready." Her heart leapt at the words. She felt lighter, joyful, appreciated, and a small spark of hope flickered in her chest. The office, which had once felt cold and lonely, now seemed infused with possibility and quiet magic. She paused at the door, glancing back. Alex stayed behind, watching her with a soft smile, feeling an inner contentment he hadn't known he needed until now. Elena took one last look, her heart fluttering, a smile brushing her lips, before stepping out into the world outside, carrying with her a newfound warmth, a sense of being truly seen, and the gentle promise of tomorrow. Sometimes, the smallest acts, a word, a note, a smile, can make the biggest difference in someone's life. And sometimes, love and connection appear quietly, unexpectedly, in the moments we least anticipate. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever experienced a moment where someone truly saw you for who you are? If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who could use a little warmth and encouragement today.